Excellent.
Yay.
Got it. All right. So are you going to give me a go ahead or should I just should I begin?
Oh, there you are. There you go. You are live streaming. You are good to go.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Jessica. So I will get started first by introducing myself. My name is Andra Stoller, and I am an Air Force veteran. I was in the Air Force from 1995 to 2001, and I'm honored to be able to represent the Air Force for Veterans Gratitude Week. Is actually in the Air Force that I fell in love with yoga, and but didn't take a yoga teacher training until 2019. And Veterans Yoga Project was the main reason that I actually took that teacher training because I wanted to be able to teach these classes. I do teach a couple classes here in Colorado Springs every week. And I'm actually only teaching just a couple because I'm also in a program to learn more about energy medicine yoga. I'm a certified foundations EMYoga instructor, but I'm going through the advanced training program as well. And I'm finding it's actually a wonderful combination that works really well with Veterans Yoga Project. And I wanted to actually bring it to a Veterans Yoga Project, or at least for one of these Gratitude Week classes. And I really love Veterans Yoga Project. They are a 501c3 that supports recovery and resilience among veterans, military families, and communities. And VYP envisions a future where all those affected by trauma have access to a full range of mind-body practices and programs. And so if you are interested in donating, we can actually provide more and more training and more instructors for VYP with your donations. And so if you are interested in donating, please go to veteransyogaproject.org, or you can text the letters VYP to 707070 or 707070. And all of that money is actually going to be matched. So during Veterans Gratitude Week, if you donate, we will actually be able to have those donations matched up to $25,000. So please do donate if you feel led to do so. All right, now before I get started with my energy medicine yoga class, I just wanted to give a very brief introduction. So energy medicine is actually been around for thousands of years, but the energy medicine techniques that I'm going to incorporate into today's classes were developed by Donna Eden, and she has an entire company called Eden Energy Medicine. But there was a yoga practitioner, Lauren Walker, who started taking her classes and recognized that combining those with yoga actually made both the energy medicine techniques and the yoga more powerful and more effective. And so that is what I am teaching today, is actually developing and getting our energy systems in an optimum position so that our bodies can operate better. And so before I step back, I'm actually going to grab my spoon. I asked you to bring a stainless steel spoon to this class. Nothing really fancy about this spoon. It's one of my kitchen spoons, but stainless steel is really great about helping us ground. So before we get started, we're actually going to use our stainless steel spoon, and we're just going to rub this spoon over the palms of our hands. And you may not feel that this does a whole lot, but there are some people who will love this. I have a friend who's going through chemotherapy. This became like the soothing event for her because of a lot of nerve damage. So you can do that on both palms of your hands, all the way down to your fingers. Rub this spoon on the top of your head. Yeah. And then I'm also going to have you rub the spoon on the bottoms of your feet. So just rubbing it over the bottom of your feet. Again, helping us ground, helping us connect. Get on both of your feet. And while I'm still close to the camera, I'm going to point out a couple points that we're going to be using during the class that sometimes are a little more difficult to identify when we're farther away from the camera. So keep this stainless steel spoon, wash it before you eat from it, but keep this nearby. And then before I get started, I'm going to talk about one point. Let me back up just a slight bit. On the bottom of your feet, there's a point between the balls of your feet. So here's the ball of my big toe and the ball of my other toes. In between those two, there's a little divot right there. That is what we call K1, or the first point in the kidney energy line. And so we're going to be using this point. I'll refer to it as K1, or that point on the bottom of your foot. So go ahead and find that point now. In fact, you can massage it, you can pulse it, whatever you'd like, but go ahead and find those. In fact, I'm going to also have you flip your hand back and forth on the top of your head and on the bottom of your feet. This is going to help your body's energies have a good polarity. Just like a magnet has a North Pole and a South Pole, your body does too. So do this on the bottom of both of your feet. The body's energies are a little more subtle, but they need to be going in the correct direction just as well. All right, I think we are prepared to jump into this practice. So we're going to go to our mat, and we're going to start by just standing in a comfortable position here. And we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. At any point during this practice, if you feel that you're building too much energy, I want you to exhale out your mouth. We're going to start with this type of breath pattern at the beginning. We will then move to more of a common yogic breath in and out our nose. But in this first part, we're going to be breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. That is the energy medicine yoga breath. So go ahead and do that. And while you are continuing that breath, I want you to bring your hands up to your collarbones. Slide in towards the center and find the knobbly ends of your collarbones. Drop down, and you may drop out just a little bit, and you'll find a divot. This is the end of that kidney energy line that we talked about. I want you to either massage here, or you might find it that you want to tap here, or you might feel it more comfortable to tap in the field. As we go through and address some of these points, you may find that some of them may be sore. Soreness, like you're touching a bruise, is okay. Painful is not. We don't want to be moving it till it's painful. But you might find, man, massaging this feels really good today. Maybe you want to tap today. These points are actually going to help us wake up all the energy systems in our body. And so I love to tap these. These feel really good when I tap. And so we're going to just wake up these energy systems. We're breathing in through our nose, out through our mouth. This is also a really good one to remember if say you're driving and you're starting to kind of feel a little drowsy. You can keep one hand on the wheel and use the other hand like a C and tap these points. Second point, we're going to move now to our thymus, or it's actually tapping on your sternum. This is a thymus point, but you're tapping your sternum. And again, you can massage, you can tap, or you can tap in the field. We have an energy field around us that affects our physical body. So choose what is right. This point is going to not only help us bring our energies up and forward, it's also going to help our immune system. It tells our body to create some more T cells so that we are stronger, and we can fight off illnesses better. Remember that in through the nose, out through the mouth. The third point is over here on the side body. It's about a hand's width down from your armpit. Ladies, if you're wearing a bra, you'll notice it's right about the bottom of your bra line. And we can tap here using either like your fingers and your thumb. You can also massage here. Sometimes you make it like chicken wings. Again, tapping in the field is still effective. As you're tapping these, know that the points actually move forward a little bit. So I actually tap side body and I move forward probably about, 4 or 5 inches. Tap back and forth. These points are great for digestion. So not only are they helpful when you have maybe some leftover Halloween candy, but they are also beneficial when you're trying to digest experiences. Say a difficult conversation, or something that happened at the store the other day. It just kind of helps your body integrate and digest those experiences. Continuing with our breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Our fourth point is on our cheekbones. So you're going to move directly on your cheekbones, directly below your pupils, and tap a little lighter here. This point is just going to help you ground your energy. I like to close my eyes, but it's not required. Certainly leave your eyes open if you'd like. Tap in the field if that feels better. Another breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then go ahead and take a moment, just allow your hands to come to your sides. And this is our chance to check in. Keep that breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just check in to see how you are feeling. And start with how you're feeling physically. Maybe give it a rating on 1 to 10. 1 being, I feel terrible today. Or 10 being, that's pretty awesome. I feel great. And then take a moment to recognize how you feel mentally or emotionally. There's no judgment in how you're feeling. You're just simply taking notice. And then lastly, see if you can notice how you feel energetically. Where is the energy in your body? Maybe you feel a part of your body that's buzzing or pulsing more. Maybe you feel a little heavier in maybe your hands or your feet. Again, we're just noticing. Another deep breath in through your nose and start tapping your left hand to your left knee, right hand to right knee. So we're tapping same side to start with. Just a few of these. And brush your hands, shake them off. The part that your body loves is the crossover pattern. This is the energetic pattern that we want to develop. So you're going to tap your left hand to your right knee, right hand to your left knee. Do it slowly if you'd like. Do it quickly if you'd like. You can make your hands big, make them small. We just want that nice crossing pattern. For some of you who are sitting, you might actually like to squeeze a shoulder and slice through to the opposite hip. Squeeze the opposite shoulder, slice through to the hip. This is still providing that cross pattern. Nice. Excellent. Shake that off. Then I'd like you to come up with an intention just for today's class. It doesn't have to be forever. It's just for today. The only requirements is that it needs to be in the present tense and it needs to be positive. Usually it's an I am statement. Something like, I am calm. I am strong. I am peaceful. Whatever that is for you today, think of that intention. Bring your hands in front of your pubic bone, a few inches off your body. Say that intention to yourself. And inhale up the front of your body to your mouth. Flip your hands over and exhale out to the sides. We're going to take that intention. We're drawing it right up the center of the body. Say that intention again. Draw it up the center. Exhale it out into the field around you. One more time. Inhale it up. Exhale it out. Let's seal that in. Put one finger in your belly button, one between your eyebrows. Press in and slightly up. 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Release that. Shake out your hands. And at this point, we're going to now change to a more typical yogic breath, which means you're breathing in and out your nose. But if at any time, again, you start to feel too much energy building, exhale out the mouth. Make it something that allows you to keep that balance. So we're going to start by inhaling our arms up, and then we're just going to weave our hands back and forth, kind of like in a big sideways figure 8. Bring it down to your waist. Shake it out. Inhale up. And exhale. This time, make that Celtic weave, that weave back and forth, and then fold over from your hips. Bend your knees if you'd like. Keep yourself in a comfortable forward hang. In the forward fold. While you're here, I want you to massage your hands. I want you to massage in between the bones of your fingers and like pinch off in the gullies in that webbing between your fingers. And do that in between all of them. It doesn't matter what order. You'll find that occasionally you'll come to a spot that is a bit more sore. And that might mean that there's just some energy stuck. So give it a little bit more massage. Unless there's an injury, then please be gentle. We're just massaging in between these. Once you've done that in between all your fingers, then go ahead and massage down your fingers, pinching off at the tips of your fingers. There's a lot of energy lines that run through your fingers, and we're just going to give these an opportunity to clear out so that energy can move freely through our body. Once you've done one hand, go to the other. This is really nice if you're putting on hand lotion. Sometimes I like to do this as I'm rubbing that lotion in, allowing my hands to find all of those spots that might be a little sore. Once you've done that, you might even massage across your wrist crease, both hands. All sorts of great points there, acupressure points. Once you've done that, shake off your hands. Put your palms over your big toes. Slide your hands up the inside of your feet, over your ankle bone, and allow your hands to slide up the inside of your legs. the inside of your knees. We're slowly standing up as we come up our thighs. We're going to bring our hands out at the hips, continue to slide them up past your armpits and back down to those third points. Remember that spleen point that we hit here on the side body. Just give that a little massage, shake it off. This time we're going to do the same with our feet. So inhale your hands, inhale up, Celtic weave as we fold forward. And we're going to clear what we call clearing the gates of our feet. So start first by just running your fingers in between the bones of your toes and pinching off the little webbing in between your toes. And now you can do both feet at the same time. So this generally goes a little quicker than your hands. And then once you've done in between each of these long bones in your feet, then go along the bones of your toes, massaging down, and then massage down the toe and pinch off the end of the toe. Do the next one. All the way, massage all the way down the toe, pinch off the end. It's a lot of energy lines that end in your toes. And we want to make sure those are clear and able to move. Shake your hands out off once you've done that. And then we're going to come down into a squat. A squat may not be comfortable for you, so maybe just bend your knees. You may also find that if you cannot do a squat easily, you come onto your seat and pull your knees in. This will take the pressure off your knees, but still allow you to come into that position. If you are able, simply bend your knees, come into a squat here. This sort of position is excellent for your body and your hips and your knees. And I understand my knees felt like they were really, really sore when I first started this, but give yourself time and it does get easier. Remember here to keep breathing. Then we're going to come onto our knees. So I'm going to move sideways so you can see me better on the mat. And we're into a tabletop position. We're going to take a moment to kind of get our spine warmed up just a bit. So go ahead and move your spine back and forth, arching your back in different directions. I like to move with my breath. I like to inhale when I'm going into this cow position, my belly button's toward the floor. And I like to exhale in cat. Other people find that it's more comfortable the opposite direction. The main thing is that we're moving that spine. And then maybe you like to move it to the side so that you're bringing your right shoulder toward your right hip, stretching out that left side. And then looking over the left shoulder, bringing your left shoulder towards your left hip. You feel a stretch on the right. Excellent. And then move your spine in any way that feels right. Maybe you want to make it rotate around like a jump rope. Choose what is right for you. And then we're going to exhale and go back into wisdom pose. On your inhale, come back up to tabletop. Do that again. Exhale into wisdom pose. Inhale back up. One more time. Exhale back. This time, put your elbows on the floor and then use your hands to massage around your eyes. So find that ridge right around your eyes and just kind of give a little massage. Maybe even just smooth it gently. You can use one hand to do a figure 8 around your eyes, a sideways figure 8. And then use your fingers to massage your scalp along the sides of your head, along the top of your head, all through your hair. There's all sorts of great points in your head. If you find one that feels particularly sore, first of all, check the opposite side that's likely sore on both sides, and then give it a little extra massage. And remember, we're talking sore as in sore like a bruise, not sore like painful. Like I found a spot there. Let's give that a little extra love. Make sure that you include behind your ears. Massage down behind your ears. Massage along the back ridge of your scalp, or your skull, right at the base. And then once you've done that, rub your hands together and then rest your cheekbones on the heels of your hands, allowing your palms to cup over your eyes and your fingertips to go up into your hairline. Now, if this feels uncomfortable, then just move your palms to the side so that they're covering your temples. But either way you choose, rest your head into your hands. Allow it to just relax. Both of these allow your body to calm. It covers the stress points on your forehead. It touches fight or flight points on your temples. And generally feels really, really nice. Remember to continue to breathe. And then we're going to release. I love that position and could be there for a while. So I want to keep moving. Come back up into that tabletop position again. And I'd like you to go ahead and bring your right knee up so that your right foot is between your hands. And then we're going to tuck your left toe and lift your left knee off the floor. And we're going to tell the Roomba to not work right now. That was a little unexpected. Apologize for the interruption. So we're here. We've tucked our left toe. We've lifted our left knee off the floor, and we're getting a nice stretch in our left hip flexor. Find your balance. If this is a little intense, you certainly can keep that left knee on the floor. You can still feel a nice stretch here. No matter which position you're in, go ahead and plant your left hand on the ground and lift your right arm high into the air. Go ahead and rotate your right wrist into some circles. Circle in the opposite direction. Flick each finger off your thumb, and then all 4 fingers off your thumb. And then just use that weave back and forth as you come back to your mat. We're then going to take that right foot, bring it back to the left. If you want some more intensity, you can actually bring your left foot up to the right here into a squat and then move the left one back. But if you prefer less intensity, bring them both back to tabletop. Then bring your left foot in between your hands. Again, here, you can just lean forward to feel a stretch in your right hip flexor. You can also tuck that right toe coming up here. And I will do this one this time. Plant your right hand, left hand goes high into the air, rotating your wrist in one direction, and then in the other direction. Flick each finger off your thumb, and then all four fingers together. And then slowly do these sideways figure eights as you come and bring that hand back down to the other side of your left foot. Drop that left knee and either come into a squat by moving your right foot up or go back into tabletop by bringing your left foot back. So if you are in, doesn't matter which position you're in now, bring yourself onto your seat. We're going to put the soles of our feet together. And you may find that here, I've asked everyone to bring a blanket. You may find that while you're in this position, this is really uncomfortable. Use this blanket or some sort of support underneath your seat. Bringing up that part of your seat makes this position usually much better and much easier. Take a moment. We're going to hold some other points. And so your fingers are going to look a bit like a triangle here. We're going to start by putting our thumbs on a divot that's between your ankle bone and your Achilles tendon. So go ahead and put your thumbs on your ankle bone, slide it back toward your body until it falls into this little divot there. That's where your thumbs are going to sit. Your fingers, your first two fingers of each hand, are going to go to the side of that foot, side of your foot, on the big toe mound, so that part that protrudes on the side of your foot. Once you get your fingers there, slide them back to the backward slope, or the slope that's toward your heel. So if you look at your hands, they look like this. Once you have placed your hands there, relax. You should have about a quarter's weight of pressure on each of those points. It's not a press. It's not, we call this a hold. It is not a massage or a tapping. So we're just simply holding. As we do this, take a moment to kind of straighten your spine. Feel that you're sitting up nice and tall. If you choose, you may want to hinge forward at your hips and get a little bit of a stretch here. But keep your fingers in these points. What you'll find as you hold here, you may find that there's some energy pulses underneath these points. You may not feel any energy pulses. Either way, your body is still supporting and strengthening this energy systems that we're holding here, and we're supporting our spleen energy system today by doing this. If you do feel pulses, pay attention to see if you can notice that they all start to pulse at the same time. We want them to really kind of synchronize their pulsing. And again, if you don't feel pulses, just trust that your body is doing what it needs. We'll give it just a few more seconds here. And we're going to go ahead and release those. And we're going to do that same trace that we did while standing. So put your hands over your big toes, slide up the inside of your feet, slide up the inside of your legs, inside of your thighs, coming out at the hips, sliding up past your armpits and back to those spleen points on the side body. Shake that out. Use your hands to bring your knees back together. And we're actually going to go onto our back. Before we do that, take a look around. If there's something that you love for Shavasana, be it maybe a blanket to cover with, maybe some supports for your knees, or anything in particular that you like, bring that nearby so that you don't have to go back up and go find that afterward. We want to make sure that we have that all there and ready to go. And then we're going to go ahead and move ourselves onto our back, knees to the sky. You'll recognize this if you've done yoga before. We're in a position for a bridge. But before we do our bridge, we're going to do we're going to trace the 5-element flow on our abdomen. And I bring this up because the classes that I've been teaching, the ladies said, this is one thing you must include in your Veterans Gratitude class. So we're going to start by massaging just inside the right hip. So we're going to be massaging the soft part of our belly. In fact, you're on your back. I'm going to come up here on my knees. I want you to be able to see that I'm going to be massaging the inside of the soft part of my belly using my hips, ribs, and xiphoid process, or where my ribs meet my sternum. Those are kind of my boundaries. And we're going to go specifically to different points. So we're going to start just inside the right hip, and we're going to massage there. And I want you to pay attention if any of these points are a little sore. And then massage up to just underneath the right rib. Massage there. Move up to that xiphoid process. Right up here, your ribs meet your sternum, that soft spot there. Then move over to your left rib. And then down to your left hip, just inside your left hip. Back across your pubic bone to the right, inside the right hip. And we're going to continue around that circle. You're just massaging around that circle. If you notice there's any points that are particularly sore, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what those tend to indicate. So the lower right-hand side indicates water, and that is generally represented by fear. And the opposite of fear, or the way to correct it, is courage. Moving up to your right rib, this is the element of wood, represented by frustration. And the opposite, or the way to counter frustration, is right action. Up top here, the xiphoid process, this is the fire element represented by anxiety. The opposite of anxiety, or the way to counter it, is inspiration or joy. Left rib here, this is the element of earth. This usually is indicative of worry. And the opposite, or the way to counter worry, is self-love and self-care. The last point down here in the left hip, lower left hip, this is metal. Metal is usually represented by grief. And the way to counter grief is to be able to let go, being able to let go. So this is our flow cycle. It's also the flow cycle for your digestion. So this is really great for digestion. Now the control cycle, because you don't want things to go too quickly, right? Start at your left hip. We're going to do a star start at your right hip. We're going to do a star from your right hip, come to the xiphoid process, down to the left hip, over to the right rib, to the left rib, and back to the right hip. So that's the control cycle, sliding up, over, making this nice star. All right. So you should still be on your back. Go ahead and shake out your hands. And we're actually going to do some moving bridges. So have your knees, take a look, make sure that your legs are parallel, that your feet are fairly close to your body. You can almost reach them with your fingertips. And as we inhale, we're going to bring our hips up and our arms up, and our arms are going to go all the way up, and the back of our hands are going to touch the floor above us, above our heads. And then the exhale is going to be coming back down. So we're going to do 5 of those. So go ahead and inhale, hips up and arms up. Exhale, hips down, arms down. Inhale, hips up, arms up. Exhale, hips down, arms down. Again, up. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale up. And exhale down. And so we are going to take a moment to clear some neural lymphatics. You have a lymph system throughout your entire body. It doesn't have its own pump, and so we can help it with some movement and with gravity. So what we're going to be clearing today are large intestine and small intestine. So we're going to be massaging the sides of our legs between our knees and our hips. The direction that you go is going to depend on your constitution. So if you have a tendency towards loose stools, you're going to start at your knee and come up. If you have a tendency towards constipation, you're going to start at your hip, moving down. And if you have neither, then it doesn't matter which way you go. But you're going to use your knuckles. And remember how I said some of these are going to be sore. This is likely going to be sore. You're pressing on both the inside and the outside of this leg. Again, it's easiest to do laying down. I'm just going to demonstrate here. You're pressing in and massaging with those knuckles, going all the way between your knee and your hip. And you'll find there are some spots that are more sore than others. Like this one today, wow, that's really sore. But it should be more like I said, like pressing a bruise. This one may be more sore than some of the others because we are releasing the lymph into the venous blood system. So what also will be important is that you make sure you drink plenty of water after this practice. Once you finish one leg, go to the other leg. Do the same thing. Make sure that you're massaging deeply into both the inside and the outside of your thigh. I know it feels a little sore, but this will feel really good afterward. All right, once you have completed both sides, both legs, come back into that bridge, leaving your hands down this time. We're just going to come up into that bridge. What we're doing is allowing that lymph system to drain. We're allowing gravity to help. It doesn't have its own pump, must go by gravity. And so we're just holding here. If you'd like to strengthen your back a bit, go ahead and release your glutes here. It's not as easy as it sounds. But when you release your glute muscles, it moves the effort into your lower back and into your legs and allows you to strengthen those. If your back is injured or sore, please do not expect that back to hold it all. You might want to strengthen it by maybe engaging your glutes and then releasing them and then engage them again. We don't want to overstress that back. We just want to give it an opportunity to get stronger. Remember to take another deep breath in. And on your exhale, slowly lower your hips to the floor. We're going to finish up with our twist. So lift your hips and move them just a couple inches to the left. Pull your knees in, hug your knees to your chest, and allow them to drop over to the right side. You want to keep your shoulders on the floor and maybe extend your left arm out to the side. While you're here, if you choose, you can take your right hand and hold behind your knee, the knee that's on top, the left leg. You can extend maybe that left leg. Your head can be neutral. You can look at your left hand. But whatever option you choose here, just make sure you're breathing. And then fold that leg back in, bring everything to center, pull your knees back up. Adjust, you have to use your feet to adjust back to center, pull your knees in, and then feet back down to adjust your hips. Now over to the right a couple inches. Pull your knees in, drop them to the left. Right hand goes out. Left hand holds behind your knee, and maybe you extend the right leg, maybe you don't. Choose what's right. Feeling that twist and getting a nice breath pattern, breathing in and out. And I'm feeling energy building up, so I'm choosing to exhale out my mouth, but maybe breathing in and out your nose is where you want to stay. Go ahead and fold yourself back in, coming all back to center. Again, moving your hips so that you are now back down the center line, hugging your knees to your chest, rocking back and forth, or whatever helps you center yourself. And then prepare yourself for Shavasana. So this is an opportunity for you to release and relax. For some folks, this is the correct place to be, right here. Maybe covered with a blanket, maybe having support under knees or arms or your neck, whatever is right for you. But this may not be what you need today. So if you choose, you can choose to do your Shavasana on your side. You may choose to do it on your belly. You may choose to do it seated. I am going to be seated only because I'm going to be able to keep watch of my time this way. But if you choose to do your Shavasana seated, please do it supported. So make sure that you're leaning against something. It could be in a chair. It could be where you are supported by the back of a chair. Comfortable, being able to completely relax your body top to bottom. So choose how you can best relax. Cover yourself with a blanket if you choose. And before you go into full Shavasana, we're going to start by doing a couple holds. So these holds will also help you process different emotions. Some may be effective today, some may not. But we're just going to walk through them one at a time. And then I'll give you an opportunity to come back to any hold that was particularly beneficial. So we're going to start first by rubbing your hands, shaking them out. Put your left hand over your forehead. Put your right hand at the back of your head, right at the base of your skull. And take some nice deep breaths. Just noticing if you feel a shift with this hold. You can relax your elbows to the floor on either side. And just breathe normally. And then move your hand that's at the base of your skull to the middle of your skull in the back, directly behind your eyes. If you're laying on your back, you'll be laying on that right hand. And then your next hold, you're going to move that right hand to the top or the crown of your head. Notice if you feel a shift in energy, keeping your body relaxed. Remember, if any of these you feel a shift in energy and it builds too much, exhale out your mouth or release the hold. Next hold will be palming the eyes. So you're putting the heels of your hands on your cheekbones, palms over your eyes. Thumbs are on your temples, and your fingers are covering your forehead. And then our last hold, we're going to move those palms to your temples. Again, allowing your fingertips to go over your forehead, touching your hairline. And each one of these holds allows your body and your mind to process different emotions. One may have felt more to you than others. There may be one that's calling to you to come back to. If that's the case, go back to that one hold, whatever that might be. And allow that hold to continue for as long as you feel that you want. That as long as until you feel complete there. And it might be a while, it might be all of Shavasana. Or you may feel complete now, and if that's the case, then you can relax your arms to your sides. No matter where you are, release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax your eyes and your eyebrows. Relax your ears and your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Your arms and your fingers. Relax your back and your glutes. Release your thigh muscles, your calves, and your feet. And then most likely you'll need to come back and relax your shoulders again. And just take a couple moments here to feel your breath come in through your nose and then release back out, either your mouth or your nose, whatever feels appropriate. Just notice that breath. Slowly start to bring some awareness back to your body. Maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe rock your head side to side just a bit. Deepen your breath. Sigh it out. Maybe bring your hands above your head and have a nice big good morning stretch from toes to fingertips. And then draw it all back in and roll to one side or the other. Taking your time. As you're ready, come up into a comfortable seated position. And we're going to do just a short breath practice called Samavriti, keeping it it's nice, even breath. So as you're here, you may decide that as you're seated, you want a little support. Again, you can choose to put your blanket underneath your seat, or maybe blocks, or a cushion. Place your hands in your lap. You can put your hands on your knees, or fold your hands with your thumbs touching. Inhale through your nose and count maybe to 3. Then exhale for a count of 3. Let's do that together. Inhale, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3. Let's extend that to 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now go ahead and continue that and see if maybe you can extend to maybe the count of 6 or 7. If you extend the inhale, make sure that the exhale is the same. I'm going to do a few more rounds. Nice, even breath. Finish your last round and then release the technique. Bring your hand to your right fingers to your left wrist. While you're still in this quiet moment, find your pulse on that wrist. And then slide your thumb so that it is in the center of your wrist crease. So it's not on that pulse. And then wrap your fingers around so that either your index finger or your middle finger touch just below where your pinky comes down on that wrist crease. You'll find there's a little divot there as well. And as you're holding there, see if you can bring your mind back to that heartbeat or that pulse of the heartbeat that you felt earlier. Your heart is the strongest electrical system in your body. But you're also feeling pulses from other systems where your finger and your thumb are now located. So you may feel pulses from them as well. Try to bring your mind back to that heartbeat. And go ahead and release those points. Release the focus. Rub your hands together. Put your right hand over your heart and your left on top of it. Take a moment to bring something to mind that you're grateful for. It could be something small like a warm blanket or a cup of tea. Whatever that is, allow it to fill you. Think of that wonderful thing or act or person. And then see if you can notice somewhere under your hands that feeling of gratitude. And allow that feeling of gratitude to grow. And maybe it starts to fill all the area under your hands. And then it expands into your abdomen, to your head, your arms and legs, and then finally out into that biofield around you that we've talked about. So this wonderful feeling of gratitude, which is very similar to joy and love, is now surrounding you. Release your hands. And I like to do one more technique. I'd like you to take your fingers, bring them to the center of your forehead, slide your fingers to your temples, slide them over your ears, down behind your ears, all the way down your neck to your shoulders. Let your hands hang on your shoulders here. and then slide them back down to heart center. And see if now that feeling of gratitude comes to you a little quicker. I've thoroughly enjoyed our class today. I am grateful for all that have attended and grateful for Veterans Yoga Project. The light and honor in me recognizes the light and honor in you. I wish you all a wonderful rest of the day.